of it, because he stated there that the same country where their road is unpassable and all those things, so they won't fight over it. But they can fight over one politician. If I mention Tinubu somewhere now, there are people who want to break my head. If you say Tinubu will not be president, there are people that are ready to break your head. Even the son will not even talk wherever that thing is mentioned. But some poverty-stricken people will want to break your head over that. Ask them now to come out for protest over electricity tariff. They will tell you that their grandmother just gave birth. That day, God is the naming ceremony. And then when you do that, you are ready to do it, you are going, and they will say, we are with you in the spirit, as if you that you are outside, you are a ghost. That is why I believe that statement by that BBC correspondent say, we are always patient for a wrong thing. When you see your enemy making mistake, you don't correct him.
That's good, sir.
You understand? Because if they recollect very well, in 2016 February 3rd, when they increased electricity tariff, we went to court. And one of the reasons why we used against them, in which Justice Mohammed Idris clamped on, was that the discourse ought not to have conducted the forum. It is the NERC as empowered in that act that's supposed to do it. Even if, let's say, per adventure, they said they do it and the people agree. The fact that you have erroneously delegated it into the hand of the wrong person has not provided, or because the provision does not say, or the disco or the distribution company. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And in that order 198 Pro 2020, one of the premises in which they inked it on, apart from the COVID-19, was that one, the forum that was ordered, in which that was carried out, shows that the people were not in support of increase in tariff on these two bases: no improvement and no metering. The MITO stipulated in Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005 that MITO will take place every 5 years. That is major review. The minor review is 6 months. The MITO will happen to be the major review, like the one they just did, will take place every 5 years. And part of the reason we produced for NERC when we wrote them was that legally it is not right for you to talk about increase. It becomes illegal because the MITO you use in February 3rd, 2016 is still in force. The last increase was done in February 3rd, 2016, as announced by Babatunde Rajivashola, then SAN, then as the Ministers of Power approved rather. Yeah. And he called it a bitter piece that all of us must swallow. That was what we fought, and we took out to court, and we were able to, we won. This is it. The commissions hereby orders as follow. Paragraph A. The estimated billing methodology regulations is hereby repealed and shall cease to have effect as a basis for computing the consumptions of estimated unmetered customers. Paragraph 8 of Order 197/2020 says that Paragraph A says that estimated billing are hereby repealed and shall no longer be used in the computations of bill to consumers. Now, you increase systemic, you bring out a systemic graphic increase to say that bind A, non-MD, RC1, R1, I mean R2, RC1, residential 2, commercial 1, which is shops, offices like this, shall receive an increase in electricity tariff to the tune of 53 naira 67 kobo if they are supplied 20 hours per day. And now the question I put to them, which I'm still expecting an answer. Please, who calculated the hours they supply? the BBC correspondent said recently as he was going that day before yesterday or to it. He said he loved Nigeria because they are extraordinary or how did he put that word, extraordinary patient on the wrong thing.
Extraordinary patient on the wrong for a wrong reason.
No wrong things.
Wrong things.
For wrong things. Part of it, because he stated there that the same country where their road is unpassable and all those things, so they won't fight over it. But they can fight over one politician. If I mention Tinubu somewhere now, there are people who want to break my head. If you say Tinubu will not be president, there are people that are ready to break your head. Even his son will not even talk wherever that thing is mentioned. But some poverty-stricken people who want to break your head over that. Ask them now to come out for protest over electricity tariff. They will tell you that their grandmother just gave birth. That day, God is the naming ceremony. And then when you two that you are ready to do it, you are going and they will say, we are with you in the spirit, as if you that you are outside, you are a ghost. That is why I believe that statement by that BBC correspondent say, we are always patient for a wrong thing. So that is it. That is it. That is the scenario we find ourselves.
So let's go
power sector.
Yeah, let's go into this increment now. It was first bangled in April. Then emotion set in because people were just coming out of. In fact, people were inside the COVID-19. Then people were home. There was no money. Economies were breaking down. And later they say it's going to come up September and in July. And it was also trounced. And NERC said there was nothing like that. Oh, it's a lie. That they have sympathy for Nigerians. Then the next thing we saw at the end of August was that President Buhari said, please don't increase. Let every house be metered and let's waive import duty on business concern that are bringing in meters from abroad. Just suddenly, September 1, NERC announced 100% increase. So, how did you feel with this? Because I feel so bad. A lot of people felt so bad. I mean, from the fact that we're even celebrating capping, that capping is. So, how did you feel? And what do you think is this? How do we face this now?
My disappointment and my being saddened is not in the announcement. It is in that regulatory body that is confused and is ready to confuse every other person. I've said it in many interviews that I've attended to in the last few days. This issue come up. Very confused and trying to confuse others and make it look as if they are doing us a favor. Because according to them now, they are doing us a favor by saying that we should be paying what they call service oriented tariff.
What's the meaning of that?
That is, as you are service, so you pay more. Let me start from where you pick it for.
Okay.
When they first mooted the ideas of increase in tariff, we told them, we are not against increase in tariff, but you must follow the extent of the law, in which is supposed to be the guiding principle, the operational standard of every power sector stakeholders. And what is it says? When you look at the section 76, paragraph 2b, it says that the discos has the right to request for increase in tariff, provided there is a feasible improvement in the supply. Remember, first, provided there is a feasible improvement in supply. 2, there is a spending or an investment in which they want to recoup the money. That 2 major. Then when you go to subsection 7 of that same section 76, it says that, and there shall be a stakeholder forums in which they will agree that the increment or the increase in tariff is acceptable to all. When you read that section 76, subsection 7, paragraph A, B, C, it stated all the people that are stakeholders, including the union, including manufacturing association, including the body and advocacy consumer groups which we belong, and all that. Those are the stakeholders in which the law claims that they should have consultation with.
I saw that and I was wondering if they did that.
You understand my point? So when they mooted that idea of increase in tariff around February, we bombarded them from all electricity consumer protection forum that look, even though it's as infeasible as anything, but if you have to insist in having it, then the best you can do for us is to follow the extant law. Number one, as the DISCO asks you, yes, they show us letters, but look at the subsection 2, paragraph B. What did he say? He said that there must be an improvement in supply to user. Is there improvement?
No, sir.
I was asking them that time. 2, there must have been investment in infrastructures in which they want to recoup. Please, which of the infrastructures have been able to improve on? Because as at today, then I was telling them I have many communities that are buying transformer by themselves. We're supposed to be the primary duties of every discourse. Because by virtues of the provisions of Electric Power Sector Reform Act, every line materials, including transformers and meters, are properties of the discourse. And I put to them that 3, the metering is still wobble and fumbling. So how do you want to increase? We have not known that there is going to be what we call corona that time. It wasn't in the burner. We were not thinking about it. And we put it to them also that subsection 7 must also be carried out. That was what led to them coming out and do what we call forum organized by the discourse. Even though the section did not say the discourse should organize it, that paragraph says that it was the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission that will carry out the forum within the spheres and the franchise areas of the discourse. But they delegated it into the hands of the discourse, and we couldn't even mind. But people went there.
But that was arbitrary too. That was not too good. How can
I will tell you that there are some things you allow. When you see your enemy making mistake, you don't correct him.
That's good, sir.
You understand? Because if they recollect very well, in 2016 February 3rd, when they increased electricity tariff, we went to court. And one of the reasons why we used against them, in which Justice Mohammed Idris clamped on, was that the discourse ought not to have conducted the forum. It is the NERC as empowered in that act that's supposed to do it. Even if, let's say, per adventure, they said they do it and the people agree. The fact that you have erroneously delegated it into the hand of the wrong person has not provided, or because the provision does not say or the disco or the distribution company. So when they say, okay, the disco, we all went, we attended, and we discover within the fear of where we are, and our members that are in Ibadan, whatever. In fact, we saw videos, we saw reports, and we discovered that there was none of the discourse forum in which the members are present, our members are present, that ever accept that there should be any increase. The only thing they said is that if you want to have increase in tariff, let the supply be increased and let the people be metered, so that we will know what we are using is what we are paying for. Those are the 2 points that they made. So when it comes to March 30th, then we are already on lockdown. Lockdown started in March 27, and corona is already on ground, and people are beginning to feel the impact of, and they have already slated increased announcement to April 1st. So what we do was to write, I mailed Dr. Moses Arigu, and we chatted, and I called him, and he said, Sam, I've seen your mail, and we are already meeting. We are calling for emergency meeting, and that's what we are meeting on in the office. So he told me that time that that's the reason why I'm in the office now. And to cut the long story short, March 31st, 2020, they released a letter called postponement of tariff. It was called Order 198/2020. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And in that Order 198/2020, one of the premises in which they inked it on, apart from the COVID-19, was that 1, the forum that was order in which that was carried out shows that the people were not in support of increase in tariff on these two bases, no improvement and no metering. Are you with me? Yeah. Are you following me? Yes. Because I want to analyze why they confuse and they are trying to confuse others. And they said they are postponing till July 1st. But before July 1st, you can see COVID-19 are beginning to bite harder. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Biting harder. People are now, in fact, vulnerable to even eat, not to talk of talking about electricity. And then the National Assembly met with the leaders of the NERC as well as the discos. And they all agreed that increase should be postponed till next year, July. That was why when the discos were flaunting the coming increase by July 1, that was why the NERC became somebody that is mute. They did not say anything. They did not talk. They did not give go ahead. They did not write any letter.
They were indifferent.
They were indifferent. To the point that my brother, Sunday Odunton, was able to come out with a press release that why is NERC indifferent to this increase in tariff. That was before even the meeting that took place with the National Assembly. So at the end of the day, we all agree that that increase will take place in the national in 2021, and the National Assembly must have looked at the provisions of MITO. That is what we call a multi-tariff year order. The MITO stipulated in Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005 that MITO will take place every 5 years. That is major review. The minor review is 6 months. The MITO will happen to be the major review, like the one they just did, will take place every 5 years. And part of the reason we produced for NERC when we wrote them was that legally it is not right for you to talk about increase. It becomes illegal because the MITO you used in February 3rd, 2016 is still in force. The last increase was done in February 3rd, 2016 as announced by Babatunde Raji Fashola, then SAN, then as the Ministers of Power approved rather. Yeah. And he called it a bitter piece that all of us must swallow. That was what we fought and we took us to court and we were able to, we won. Fortunately, obedience to court order sometimes become an accolade task. But we still continue to pay, even despite the court order that nullified it. But what I am trying to tell you is very simple. Part of the confusion. So when that letter got to them that by virtue of the provisions of the MITO, I think section 72 or thereabout, we stated that it's 5 years. If you want to do any increase, you have to wait till next year, because that is what make it 5 years another MITO. Even though verbally Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN then said that this increase is cost-based increase and it is going to last for 10 years. But I know the minister's statement cannot override the provisions of the Act of Parliament. So we base our statement on the Act of Parliament, which says MITO is 5 years. So even if any increase supposed to come, call it whatever you like, service-based, cost-based, error-based, and lie-based, it has to be after 5 years. So that was why I believe that Nigerian National Assembly was able to mediate and come out with the fact that we will have that increase in July next year, 2021. You know, put in consideration the effect of COVID-19. That was what we are still looking on.
So why fast track it? So what's
all the so-called statement of the president that we are supposed to have all been metered. That he said all consumers must be metered. That was what I read in the paper, and I just laughed at what kind of useless political statement is this. Didn't you know that there are so many letters from Nigerian Electric Regulatory Commission indicate that we are all supposed to be metered? So what is the essence of this statement? As if we don't know, or as if we don't know. Are you not brief at all? Because that statement is supposed not to come out from the president. All you need to tell them internally is to go NERC. Make sure that you fast track that letters and that system that you bring out. How do I help? That is where the waivers of metering fee, what do they call it now? metering to purchase meter outside, the waiving import duty. That is where the president has that is what he's supposed to do. Where do they need my help? But I want these people to be metered. You already have policy outside there. You already have the letter given to them. You have orders given to them. This capping order instigating the part of the objective, I've read it before. Yeah. That one of the reasons why they brought out this capping order 197 is to fast track metering of consumer. Is also to see to the effect that consumers are no longer be billing on estimation on that which they are not used. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
Paragraph A of their order. I will read it to you because you
are educating.
Because I'm coming there. This is it. The commissions hereby orders as follow. Paragraph A. The estimated billing methodology regulations is hereby repealed and shall cease to have effect as a basis for computing the consumptions of estimated unmetered customers. Paragraph A. I didn't write it. You can see signatures of Efe.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Lega in NERC and that of the chairman in it. I didn't write it. This come out in February 26 and to take effect from February 2020. Paragraph A. The estimated billing methodology regulation is hereby repealed and shall cease to have effect as a basis for computing the consumptions of unmetered consumers in Nigerian electricity stakeholders industry.
This is a strong statement, sir.
I didn't write it.
So why would they now abuse it? Why would they neglect it?
Just hold on, sir. This, I said, confused, and they trying to confuse others. This is one of it. Now, this one is in effect, even though some discos fail to obey it. It now dawned on me to realize why those discos fail to obey it. 7 of them in number. Because why do I know that there are 7? The letter issues in May 2020 by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to the effect that these discos have to explain why they will not be sanctioned by jettisoning capping. That's why I know there are 7 in number. Abuja obey, Jos obey, Yola obey, and then Ibadan Electric obey. But the rest 7 did not. Ikeja Electric did not. A co-distribution company within our houses and franchise area, they did not. Instead, they are coming out with a bill in which now I now realize how they come out with those bills. The bill they are giving to people as at then up to July bill was neither capping nor estimated. It is completely unknown to them because you don't know how they come about 47,000 naira for a 3-flat bedroom, 37,000 naira for, in fact, the house within my complex here, the bungalow, they cost 37,000 naira.
But the house in
at the last July bill they gave to them, they gave them 31,000 naira.
But the house around here is 72,000. Why
the template that's supposed to be accrued to this area as Ikeja? This is a document not released by me. It is released by Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. This is the attached template for Ikeja Electric. Ikeja Electric for this area where they are giving them 31-something thousand naira for R2 single phases is supposed to be 207 kilowatts. 207 kilowatt times 21 naira 30 kobo will give you something around
3,000, close to 3,000.
Plus 7.5%. Yes. To be around 3,009 or 4,000 at most. The same area have been given 31,000 even while this capping was in force.
And Ikeja Electric was one of the worst culprits, because not
only Ikeja Electric, if you see people that pay from Eko Electric also, people from EED, Enugu, people from BED, Bini, I said the only people. Let me shock you. One of the consumers and that already have my numbers and they normally seek for my listing. They emailed me and tell me that see, Oga, Ibadan Electric come to disconnect my line because I was owing them 69,000 naira. And I said, send me your bill. And when I saw the bill, I saw the first place I went to was current charges. I saw 1,900 and something with anger. I said, Oga, go and pay your outstanding bill. I beg. Don't even come and tell me anything. Go and pay that outstanding bill, because Ibadan Electric is one of those people that obey the capping. I said, do you see your current charges? Say, I saw it. I said, how much? He said, 1,900 and 5,000. I said, go and pay. Don't even come and... That is the way we deal with them.
That's good. Because
we make sure that your obligation, you don't shy away from it when you are justiciably billed. I shouted on him. He now said, "Okay, I'm sorry." I said, "Don't sorry for me. Look at it. The money they are asking you to pay before they can disconnect you are your accrued this thing, not current charges. Your current charges is 1,900. I said, don't let the people that is under another discourse, don't let them hear you. They will. In fact, I brought it to our platform. I brought it to our platform. I said, see some people, they don't even know. That person is living in Mowe or so, or Magboro. Because Magboro is under, a part of Magboro is under Ibadan Electric. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So these are this. I'm not the one that did this. It is NERC. The same NERC also was the one that says that the postponement of that disco increase in tariff in March 34th was because it appears, and in the data before them, the people did not agree unless two things are done. Just after the statement of President Muhammadu Buhari, in which some section of the media went into town that, the Buhari said they should increase electricity tariff. The same Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission issued a press release. NERC committed to protecting customers.
What kind of release is that?
Signed by no other person, by Mr. James Momo, Chairman Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. And among that which he said, which I'm going to quote here, in all cases, poor and vulnerable Nigerians will not experience any increase. In line with this expectation, discos are directed to engage with their customers on a service-based tariff structure. Under the service-based tariff structures, disco can only review tariffs for customers under the following condition. 1. Customers are consulted and communicated a guaranteed level of electricity service by the discos based on hours of supply. 2. Customers are metered.
Number 2.
Number 3, the confused person, the confused regulatory body that want to confuse others, which is very germane. No estimated billing through the strict enforcement of the capping regulation. This means that unmetered customer will not experience any cost increase beyond what is chargeable to metered customer in the same area.
What does that mean?
That this capping method will be the basis of their increment, of their charges. Until that is done, nobody can increase. Which means, like I explained earlier on, if Mr. Asabe is not using meter, I am using meter, and my meter is 2,000 naira per month that I'm recharging on it. Anyhow, I'm using it. I'm collecting light from the same source you are collecting light. The same transformers have force. So there is no point for you collecting 30-something thousand naira. This is my office. I'm having meter. During coronavirus, for that 4 months or 5 months, apart from the fact that I was even indisposed, I was not in the office. My meter was not working. So I'm not paying anything. It was when I resumed in June or early July that I on my meter. But do you know for that month, whether there is light or there was no light, people receive bills here. Yes. That was the period that capping came out, and that was the period that they are now receiving bills above even capping method and estimated billing put together. That same estimated billing that have been repealed. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing the confusion?
The confusion is so confusing.
James Momo said that there shall be no increase, service-based or what, except these 3 conditions. Customers are consulted. Were we consulted?
No, sir. No. I was not consulted. And
because by virtues of the consultation they did in March or period to March expecting increase in the last increase in March. The last consultation was done at Excellence Hotel by Ikeja. That it was in March. Yes, it was in March. It was in March 28th or March something. It was in March. I remember very well. So as far as that we are concerned, this new service base, we were not consulted. Even if you to say you want to use that of the March or February own, in your statement on March 31st, in your order 198/2020 postponing that increment, you said it wholeheartedly in that paragraph that based on that customer forum, it was obviously gathered that there is no concession for increment except people get supply and consumers are metered, which was also reiterated from this press release done on Friday by Mr. James Mama, the chairman of Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission. Okay. He even mentioned capping there. Now the question is, this is the way they confused. That's where I said they are confused. The same person, the same people that says that there shall not be any increase except there is consultation, except people are metered, came out when on Tuesday last week to the effect, that is on the 1st, that to the effect that this increase shall be experienced from September 2nd with a provision, paragraph 5 subparagraph 3 of their bulletin says, and I quote, that they are carrying out this exercise based on the consultation they have done with the consumer, in which all agreed.
It is not true, sir. That I can't believe.
I'm not saying it is true. I am putting it to you that somebody said in March 31st, release of postponement of tariff, that the reason and the premise on which they are postponing apart from COVID-19 was because all the consumer forum done indicate that the consumers are not ready for increase except this thing takes place, that they are not agreeing to any increase except that there is improvement and consumers are metered. The same regulatory body is now saying in their paragraph 5 subparagraph 3 bulletin, increasing the same tariff, which I call systemic increase, and an hocus pocus, that consumer they consulted have agreed. I don't know when they consulted with us.
Maybe in the dream when we were sleeping, sir.
Maybe virtual consultation with themselves. But I'm letting you see the chronologicals and the litanies of the confusions they created, in which they want to use it to confuse others. I appreciate that, sir. So it now comes to the increment in itself and the system. That is barbaric. That is another eye opener I want to bring out. Paragraph 8 of Order 197/2020 says that paragraph A says that estimated billing are hereby repealed and shall no longer be used in the computations of bill to consumers. Now you increase systemic, you bring out a systemic graphic increase to say that bind A, non-MD, RC1, R1, I mean R2, RC1, residential 2, commercial 1, which is shops, offices like this, shall receive an increase in electricity tariff to the tune of 53 naira 67 kobo if they are supplied 20 hours per day. And now the question I put to them, which I'm still expecting an answer. Please, who calculated the hours they supply?
That is also a very big question.
The consumers or the discos? When we were shouting estimated billing, who calculated the hours we used then? Is it the consumers or the discos?
The discos are fraudulently calculated.
So I put it to you and I put it to Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission that the orders that they gave here in this paragraph A, to the effect that estimated billing has been repealed, you have used the background to bring it back.
They've done a backyard re-entry.
Re-entering of estimated billing. Because the reason why we shouted of estimated billing was that Disco will just bring whatever they call it and they will say that is the hours that they supply you. Now you have given them the legitimate reason and way to legitimize that stealing by saying only if you use up to 20 hours you will be billed 53 naira something kobo. If you use up to 12 hours you will be billed 42 something kobo. How do we know the hours that we used? Do we know the hour we used before we are shouting that this is estimated billing? You will just see your bill. One of the bills are here. You will see a flat being billed how many hours? 501 unit, which is kilowatt. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now you have legitimized that action.
Just like legitimate stealing.
Yes. By saying that once they say you use 20 hours per day, you are entitled to be paid 53 naira 67 kobo per unit for them. Once they say you have used 12 hours per day, you have now been entitled to pay 42 naira 37 kobo per unit. How do I know I used 20 hours? I don't know. Before now, when we are shouting estimated billing, I don't know too. Who will calculate for me? Who have been bailing me out? Nobody. So that's why I said this is bringing back from the backyard the same estimated billing methodology you claim to have repealed. Because it is the same system that we use now. For example, where is even the prepaid meter user in this matter?
In fact,
how much am I now going to be paying?
In fact, they said they're even cutting into the units.
Because now, if you say that I'm a prepaid meter user, and in my area I am supply 20 hours, it's on the basis of that 20 hours that you are going to charge us 53 naira something kobo. Supposing I off my meter without using out of that 20 hours, I'm still going to pay 53 naira 67 kobo. I don't think you get me.
No, I can't get it. Can you come in? Yes, sir.
You didn't get me. I'm using meter.
Yes, sir. Prepaid meter.
Prepaid meter. In this area, in assumption, they said they are supplying them 20 hours per day. So in calculating their hours per month, they have 600 units to pay for. That means they are entitled to be billed an increase of 53 naira 67 kobo. Meaning that I have my own and I'm not using, I'm still going to be billed that same 53 naira 67 kobo.
Right, when you're
every time I own it.
In fact, it has started manifesting. People are complaining.
Where is the fairness?
No equity.
In accordance with section 32 that make NERC to be an unbiased umpire. Where is the fairness?
In fact, this is
cuckoo better you say you increase across board. Let us know that you equally increase. Don't bring all this caricature, this hocus pocus. Is a deliberate mysterious nonsense.
Deliberate mysterious nonsense.
Yes, that is hocus pocus. If you say okay, we have come out, we increase, we agree, we will now be fighting. You now say you are billing us according to the hours that we use. Those that have not have meter, they will be billed according to what they did not use, because ab initio who calculated the hours? Who did the hours calculation?
Nobody than them. No transparency.
It is the same Disco that bills without knowing what we use. And you said in paragraph A of order 197 that estimated billing are hereby repealed. And you now said again, in explaining the increase day before yesterday, I posted it on the platform to say, is this people, are these people, do they think? I need to find it out if time permits me, so that you will understand my grievance. My grievance, like I said in many fora,
so your grievances are genuine.
I don't have problem with increase in tariff. I don't.
If it's genuine.
If it is genuine. And one of the things that will bring the genuinity is meter the people. Call it 100 naira. Meter them. People that are not at home now, they don't know whether you bring 20 hours or you bring 10 hours.
But this issue of meter is even more fraudulent, because if you are trying to save your energy and at the end of the day you are made to use what you ideally didn't use, you are made to pay for what you didn't use, then what is where is the fairness?
Essence. So this increase not to have come in a systemic way like this. That's why I call it hocus pocus. But let it come out and say, okay, you have come out with increase. Do you know that another confusion, the final confusion is that I don't know which method they use now. Is it MITO or NICO? That is Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission's own method, different from the Act of Electric Power Sector 2005, which says that it's only MITO that is applicable for the increase in electricity tariff, and MITO is 5 years. The last increase in electricity tariff is February 3rd, 2016. So if I calculated from 2016 to date, that is 4 years. So the illegality, you are perpetuating illegality in an agency that belongs to the government, that forwarded the Act of Parliament to the House of National Assembly to be approved, having approved, signed by the president as at then, and yet you are deliberately disobeying that order, flagrantly, doing it to the whims and caprices of those people you want to satisfy. That is the question. That is the confusion that I said they are using to confuse others. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see now that we are not shouting for nothing. All the Electricity Consumer Protection Forum are not just being angry. We are just looking at it that who are supposed to be our protector. Because in the press release, the chairman said that they are committed to protect the consumer.
No, that was a hogwash.
Is these actions and inactions, is it a way of protecting us?
But they are protecting the stakeholders, not the consumers. Themselves, and maybe their bosses, their sponsors. So
if you are protecting us, if your protection is not being seen for whatever it was, are we being protected? How can you protect me when you are deliberately doing that which I can see with my eyes that I am not protected? Okay, let me read to you again. In the heading that I gave to it when I want to pass into the members forum. I said, look at the stupidity and absurdity from NERC. Part of the reason why they why they are analyzing the increase, the service-based increase. He said, on meter customers within service bands A, B, and C, thus benefiting from a supply availability in excess of an average of 12 hours per day over a period of 1 month as affected by this tariff order shall be protected by the provisions of order on capping of estimated billing in the NERC. You already said if you use to 12 hours, yes, we are entitled to what? To 42 naira 37 kobo. And you come out with a template in which such capping should be. So if we use more than 12 hours and you say that we are still protected under capping method,
will you now say that capping is evil?
The only question they will need to answer. Thank God, I don't know why they postponed the meeting we are supposed to have today. You know, the NERC wanted to have meeting with some of us that are in the electricity advocacy.
Do you think they were confused?
I don't think so. They told us that it was their system that get disturbed or somehow crashed. This is a meeting you call about 4 or 5 days ago. You still call to confirm again. Like I want to read again. On meter customers within service bands A, B, and C, thus benefiting from a supply availability in excess of an average of 12 hours per day over a period of 1 month as affected by this tariff order shall be protected by the provisions of order on capping of estimated bill. I don't know, is that not confusion?
It's the great confusion, sir.
How do you reconcile? You have already said that this is capping. You have already said that we cannot be billed more than the template that you have there. Then you are now coming out with another thing. And you are now saying that we are still protected under that capping method. I don't understand. Maybe I don't know what capping is anymore. You know why they are making this mistake all along? Because our noise is becoming vibrated. We are opening the eyes and the eyes of the people and their eyes to the fact that they are confused. And the capping method, where did you drop capping method now? That's why I think they have to wriggle out one way or the other to put capping. How did capping work when you already have a template for capping?
Yes. So what is the mismatch about?
What is the mismatch about? So to me, I just believe that
are we in safe hands?
We are fixed. We are fixed with these people.
What was the way out now? Because I'm thinking that I read somewhere that the organization might approach the court, and not just the organization alone. Because I think that reasonable Nigerians should go extra lengths to stop this.
We definitely, one of the things we want to explore is dialogue, which makes me happy when they send me a letter to say that we are going to have a forum or meeting today. Do you understand my point? And unfortunately, they said they are having problems with their this thing, that they will communicate back the another date or mail back to another day. But that, be that as it may, I don't know whether the meeting was still going on, because I just saw myself log out from the meeting. So it was when I make a call to them in Abuja, they now said that they're having problem, so to say. And by the time I log in again, it shows that the admin or the host is no longer logging in. So that's just my dilemma. So let me believe that they are still going to have that meeting. All these things that I chronology here is what I intend to let them realize. That please, I need explanation. I'm confused. But
Nigerians need explanation.
I don't want to be confused. Maybe they see us as the mouthpiece of the Nigerian.
Yeah, yes, of course.
The opportunity of reaching out. We have members, we have people. People believe in us more than them. So that is why they want to maybe explain themselves. But the question is, would they be able to answer all these questions to me? Because I am not saying anything outside my own head. Everything that I've quoted therein for is from the law, act, order, directive they issued out. And if they are the one that issued it out, and all of a sudden you come out with this hocus pocus, how do we reconcile it? If they said this increase is MITO cannot be 4 years. Let them explain to me why they have to bypass MITO 5 to come to 4. When the law says that review of every MITO should be by 5 years. We need explanation. We need to know. We cannot just be taken for granted. In fact, we won't allow us to be taken for granted. That's where the issue of court came in. That if they fail dialogue, if we could not receive a cogent reason, then I think the court can help us out. Because all these things also will be packaged to the court. And we will want to know exactly why we are being, tossed
around
like a coin around. We don't know what to believe anymore. We don't. Like I said earlier on, when you see, in fact, in a joking manner, if I send letter with our letterhead paper to any disco, if NERC send letter, they will treat our letter before they treat the NERC home. That's how bad they have seen NERC, because they have seen them more or less like
toothless.
Not toothless, a partner in mischief.
Executive partner in mischief.
Yes. Because they know that whatever they ask them to do, if they didn't do it, nothing will come out of it.
So, people are asking, they say we should ask you, do you think that NERC as a body should be reformed either by the presidency or by the, let's say by the National Assembly? Do you think there should be a term of regime that will take some people out? And who are the people in NERC? Do you think there should be something that will not make them become so what can I call it, lethargic and become like an empire? If they stay too long, familiarity sent in, and familiarity breed contempt.
There's no familiarity in
between them and the next and the discourse.
Familiarity in a year they don't spend more than 5 years. You understand? I think it's the same year they are spending that Babatunde Irukera will spend in FCCPC. But he has made good use of his last 3 years in the shadow more than the close to 5 years that this NERC are using. In fact, I want to say it with all confidence Babatunde Irukera agency has sanctions discourse more than NERC does, without sense of contradiction and sense of remorse. The FCCPC has helped more than the NERC forum set up by Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. I'm being serious.
Do they have offices in Lagos too, unlike NERC that has its dominant?
Now, FCCPC is at Ilupeju. Okay. I've been there. I've attended the place with one of our member before. So the only thing I discovered at that point in time was that I think it was after that I made my report known to the DG, Babatunde Irukera, that your Lagos office needs to be rejigged. They are like a proverbial rat and cat that have become friends, which is completely supposed to be inimical. So I think after then, things changes. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
After then, things changes. The NERC forum that was mandated that are creations of the law, of the act, are not doing better than the FCCPC.
In fact, we have a case now whereby the lawyer sent letter to the NERC forum after sending to Abule Taylor undertaking office and copying sent to his boss. That is the one in Ponle. What's his name? Lawrence Ogoye even rejected the letter. They didn't take it until they now couriered it. And when they now got to the NERC forum in Ikeja here, they were even saying that they didn't see that. They were complaining to the lawyer that they didn't see any stamp. And the lawyer said, look, we've sent the courier the letter, the return from the courier to let you know that the courier dropped it. That if you shouldn't be complaining, if you are the one and you are doing things with them, you have to have copied them. Have you seen this letter? You don't need to come back to me. Until now, they didn't treat it almost 2 months now. Until this last week that the lawyer have to now send the thing to Abuja via both mail and physical. You know, there is this kind of what can I call it? Mutual marriage between both the NERC Consumer Forum and the discourse. There is something that you can't complain to them and they do anything. It's like you are not going to get a result.
Well, you can't be surprised. There is something I want to come out with. I think I lay my hands on it so that Nigerians can know that from the beginning, if the Bible has said it, I believe it. I don't know what else to believe. He said, if foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
That's Psalm 11 verse 3.
Okay, so if the Psalms is to be believed, then you will believe what you are going to read here. It is called customer complaint and handling standards and procedure. It is also an act of the federal government. He said in exercise of the powers to make regulations conferred by Section 96 2C and D of the Electric Power Sector Reform 2005, Act Number 6 of 2005, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission makes the following regulation for the handling of customers' complaint. I just want you to know that it's of the law. It's not me. It's not from my head. It's also from the same Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Then I'm going to either Section 8 or 10. Let me quickly, so that we will understand why it is so. Why it is so. Why it is so. Why it is so. It is not just so. It is so because it was written there that it is the discourse. What did I say?
The discourse.
That is the distribution company that will make provision for offices for the NERC forum member.
It's just like, it's unfortunate.
Not the one that wrote it to. It is.
That's the fraudulent clause.
It is written here. Oh, I did not. I told you now. It is not written here. Oh. It's not written by me. Oh. It is written here. Paragraph 10. I'm laughing, of subsection 4 of that handling procedure. Paragraph what? 10. It says, the office space and other facility required by members of the forum for the official functioning of the forum shall be provided by distribution licensee.
This is sad news.
Have you heard about you pay the pipe dictated it before?
Yes, I heard it severally.
Not only the space, he said the facilities. And I'm bringing my case against that disco before the same members of the forum. It will take somebody that is hungry with operational system to be unbiased, to be not be tilted towards the person that pay my office. And when I remember the chair I sit on, I will have to remember that if I stand up from here and I come back tomorrow, I may not meet this chair here again. So I must be very careful.
You must think about the goodies than than being fair.
The office, because if by the expiration of that office, the disco said they don't have money, nobody can hold them to ransom. It's not that they don't want to do; they said they don't have money. You didn't get it. It's not that they don't want to do; it's that they don't have money. And if they say they don't have money, will you kill them? So you can see that there can never be balance of adjudication within the NERC forum and the discos that cover that, the franchise discos that cover that area. Why? Because they are the one that makes provision for the space and other facilities. Other facilities can be anything. The AC, they can immediately off the AC. In fact, the light they are supplying to that place, they can tell them at that time that they want to meet. They know the forum is going to meet with their case. They will tell them off that thing. And you can, how you will meet inside Ongbono in Diara, but let me see. These are the provisions of the law. I'm not the one. I'm quoting it. That's why I read it beforehand.
It appears that law has a K-leg, sir.
It's not only K-leg. It doesn't have a K-leg. It is K-leg on its own. It's K-leg. Do you understand? It's K-leg.
How do we, what is the solution? What is the panacea to this?
All these things are supposed to be reviewed. All these things. You see, it is time for NERC. If the NERC are conscientious, if the NERC are serious, if the NERC want to fulfill Section 32 of Electric Power Sector Reform that make them an unbiased umpire, it is time for them now to act to the effect that even members that have stayed long in that place, because the provisions of this law says that I think members shall not be there. Will not be there for a term of 3 years. And in the last how many years now, some of the members in Ikeja and Eku Forum remain instant. In fact, it's part of what we want to write to them over there. Look, we need to look at. We might also solicit that will be part of the member. Because it is the provision is there that members of the consumer advocacy within that vicinity must be there.
You make it work.
Yes, and I will tell them it doesn't matter whether we are sitting down on the floor. In fact, even if it is Iwaju Ile Oba in front of the king that we are going to sit down, we will adjudicate what is necessary and what is objective. If the provision of space and facility will make us bend the rule, but I doubt if they will want somebody people like us to be part of that.
But a political will can enable that.
Where is the political will? It's somebody like Irukera that can do it. I know we have somebody like Irukera everywhere, but for now, he is the one I'm seeing. He is beating everybody's imagination. He has rewrite the story of CPC. They call it CPC before. He has rewrite the story of CPC to the fact that that agency, any other DG that will come after him, he dare not mess up. He dare not reduce the standard. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
He dare not reduce the standard because we know that they have watered down this thing. It's like a wife that we know that he normally cook good food, good stew, and all of a sudden we just change and say, okay, let me eat the food of another wife, and you see that no, and the person now say no, it is the same wife that cook. Say no, we know the taste and the pudding of the soup of that wife. Do you understand? So that is the only thing. that person must be able to look at them face to face. You see, I'm not saying they cannot be compensated, but any compensations that we tamper with that which is your primary duties of being an unbiased umpire is no longer a compensation, it's corruption.
And there's a difference between corruption and compensation.
Compensation, yes, that's different. That is different. When I was a lecturer, one of my HOD used to tell me that if you are a lecturer and none of your students appreciate you, anyhow, one way or the other, you are not a good lecturer. Do you understand my point? And I see reason in it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I see reason in that statement. Because despite my strictness and being principled, I still get some accolades from students.
Those who appreciate your principled lifestyle.
Some that will meet me at the eating ground and say, "Oh God, we are paid though." Are you getting my point? Sure, you get my point.
Yes, it happens.
At the canteen or any of the eatery and say, "Oh God, we are paid though."
It happens.
Yes, that's compensation. Yeah. That's not corruption.
Yeah.
Because it does not tag to anything.
It does not stop you from judging them the way they are.
It does not mean that when I enter your class, as my case will be, that you have to bring your phone inside my class or you must be talking while I'm lecturing. No, it doesn't stop me from sending you out. It does not stop me from seizing your phone for the next two weeks. I will only remove the SIM and give it to you. But that phone will be with me. And your phone ring. Many of my students, past students that will be watching will tell you, yes, I know him to be like that. But that does not mean when I get out, I'm not your friend. We laugh together with everything. We laugh. That's why I keep on saying, we are not enemies of anybody. Disco's neck. But we are always saying that do things the way it's supposed to be done. I have told the Discos in my last interview, if you remember, with you people, I said, the Disco is supposed to be enjoying us more than the neck.
Yeah, you said so.
That if the Discos are doing that which is right,
you will fight for them.
If neck is messing up with them and they are now saying, this wala, this neck is giving us, we will tell them, leave us. You continue to do the good that you are doing, leave us with neck. If Abuja Electric was given an award last summit that we had, for one reason.
What's the reason?
They are consumer friendly.
Consumer friendly.
It does not matter when you send your complaint. They will not only respond to it, they will go there and give you feedback.